I, I believe the Foreign Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo is here, would like to take the floor. May I invite the Honourable Foreign Minister, sir. Please, may I invite you to the podium, sir? It's a little easier. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me the floor, sir. Just a few words. First, a word on my country, the DRC, which over the last 15 years has gone from despair to hope. A country whose success story is rarely told, and thus whose narrative has to change. DRC has always been known as a land of great potential and many investment opportunities. What is not known, let alone said enough, is that as we speak, these potentials and opportunities are being translated into actual realities. To name just a few achievements, basic infrastructure is in constant rehabilitation and modernization, and that is nationwide. A stable macroeconomic environment characterized by a low inflation rate, close to 0% over the last 2 years, and an average growth rate of about 8.2% for the last 3 years. I would like also, in addition to that, to name an abundant skilled and cheap labor, an increasingly attractive and competitive business environment, a more appropriate and reassuring political environment and consolidating democracy, and a large market in the heart of Africa. My second word has to do with the SDGs. To achieve these objectives, we have to meet a big challenge. The challenge of economic transformation, which entails value addition and beneficiation, and calls for the development of infrastructure and value chains. In that regard, I would like to call the attention of the people gathering here on two sectors which can help make a difference on our continent. Those are the energy sector and the agriculture sector. Talking about the energy sector, the DRC has enormous assets for the development of this sector. A hydroelectric potential of 100,000 megawatts, which represent 23% of global potential and 37% of African potential. 52% of freshwater reserves in Africa, and various potentials in renewable energy, that is solar, wind, biomass, geothermal, and the likes. The flagship project under this sector is, of course, the hydroelectric Grand Inga Dam project. It is worth noting that the sole site of Inga has a potential of 44,000 megawatts. Fully developed, it could power most of the Africa continent, thus creating endless opportunities for industrialization and the betterment of the livelihood of African populations. The second sector is agriculture, and I would even say agro-industry. DRC has enormous assets for the development of the agriculture sector. 80 million hectares of arable land and 4 million hectares of irrigable land. A fishing potential of 700,000 tons of fish per year and vast areas of pasture for raising of more than 40 million heads of cattle. To develop this potential, the policy of the government is to promote the development of 22 agro-industrial parks, including Bukangalonzo, which is already operational. We welcome investors to help DRC develop these agro-industrial parks, which can contribute a lot to the food security, not only in the DRC, but in Africa. I thank you.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.